Hi guys, I welcome you in this video. Let me just explain to you something very important when it comes to entries. We can see here with the market moving down, and as it was moving down, you can see that there was a shift or a little bit break of this trend line. So we can see here that price tried to test the trend line. Unfortunately, it broke it, but as it broke that trend line, you can see that it was blocked in a very important level. We see that we have some kind of a resistance in that area there, and usually when price does this, we know that now price is like to enter in a transition, because that's how trends usually change. When it was moving in a downtrend, we know that it has to enter in some form of a range, then it will kind of move in an uptrend. So we can see that now it is starting to enter into this phase where it is now entering in a transition, and when it is doing this, it is also a good opportunity for you to execute a trade. But let me just show you when is it the right time for you to actually open that trade. So if you can see here is our structure, but we're just gonna get into detail in this wave because this is the wave that's gonna give us an entry. So when we analyze the wave, allow me to remove the trend line. When you analyze the wave, you just look at the flow, you observe how the trend was flowing. We can see here it was giving us some minor higher highs and higher lows. Now we can see that it was flowing in this manner, and all of a sudden when it reached that resistance, we see that now it began to slow down. For an example, we see we have a high there, but then the next high is a little bit lower compared to the previous one. So we can see that okay, now the strength is declining as far as the buyers are concerned. So we can see that we have a high which is lower than the previous one, and then not just that high, we receive this low which is obviously at a very lower point compared to the previous low there. So we can see that okay, the price is now shifting from buyers to sellers. So we can see now it's sellers that are taking over, because even if you can observe this high, you can see that it is lower compared to that high all the way there in that resistance area. So this is a very right time for you to execute a trade. Why? Because we can see that this high here, our recent high, it is a retest of our recent low. So we know that a retest after a breakout is a very good confirmation. So we can see that there it is now a retest. Price retested our previous support here, which is remember, let's put an arrow, which is all the way there. So we can see that we have a retest, and it shows us that this is the right time for you to execute a trade. Because if you can see clearly how the structure changed, you can see that it is now confirmed that the buyers are defeated because of the high we receive here and the low that we received there. So we have now lower lows and lower highs, meaning it is now a market which is controlled by the seller. So it is likely that at this point in time we receive a very huge wave going on the downside all the way up to this support here. Because remember, I told you that in this case or in such structures, usually the price is entering in a transition, so we like to receive a wave heading downwards. So it is I believe it is the right time for you to execute a trade at this point in time with your stop loss obviously around this zone here, because price can still play around that area, because that's what usually happen. Price will be playing around that area before it can actually take off. That's how price behaves. So you can just open your trades all the way there, just like this video targets all the way down there. It can be a very beautiful trade, and we believe that because of that resistance, price will not pass that level, because it has shown us here it tried multiple times. It tried here, and it tried there, and it also tried there, and it failed 3 times. So we believe that this is the right area for us to execute a sell. So that I'm showing you through this tool that you can execute a trade here with your stop just above there, and then your targets all the way down there. So I hope this is making sense. This is just a process that I usually use to find good entries and to analyze before I execute my trade. I'm just gonna keep it short and leave it here. Thank you guys.